Good evening, family. Welcome to another day of our Smart Financial Move series. If you are joining me for the very first time, my name is Jibine, your favorite financial educator here on TikTok. And I like talking to people of my color about finance and how to make the most out of life. Let me just see if you... Okay, yeah, I can hear me. All right, so if you're joining me for the very first time, you're welcome. You're welcome. Welcome to our day 2 of our Smart Financial Move series. How has been your day? How are you doing? Thank God it is weekend, right? All right, so let's get the ball rolling. Guys, let's get the like going off so that we can start our conversation ASAP. Yeah, it's gonna be another beautiful day, guys. Yesterday we started talking about making sure you position yourself for the best life, especially for those of us who are in the diaspora. If you are going to wait for the system, I believe you can hear me clearly, please. Please just give me something in the comment section so I can be sure you can hear me clearly. If you can, please. I believe you can hear me clearly. Comment section, please. Can you hear me? I want to be sure I'm very audible so that once I start, there's no holding back. Can you hear me clearly, guys? Can you hear me? I would work with the assumption that you can hear me because I'm not getting any feedback. Let me check from my other. Yes. So I can hear myself. Yeah, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our day 2 of the Smart Financial Move series. Awesome. It's a season whereby we talk about things that can help, especially we in the diasporans, African in the diasporans, to position ourselves for a better life. All right, so we started yesterday talking about understanding the system. Fully well, you must get to understand that the way the system was designed wasn't designed just to hand over things to you on a platter of gold. And the earlier you get to understand this and position yourself strategically for the kind of life you came here to live for, you would, unfortunately, if you allow things to continue the way it is, it will be so shocking to you that you will discover that in the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, things really might not change much. Why? Because the lack of understanding of how the system functions, the system does not really forgive you for that. You pay the price for it. Guys, I'm trying to gather my thoughts. It's been my head has been deep into some mental work, so I have to come back in a teaching mode right now so that I can flow. All right, so yesterday we had some conversations, like I was mentioning, whereby we spoke about the system, saying that in the system is not necessarily about how fast or how much you are doing. It is in what direction are you doing it. What do we mean by direction? Direction simply means whatever is determining your outcome at the long run in terms of how much you earn, when you work, how often you have to work. By extension, is actually determining your outcome and determining your life. So the moment you get to understand that the system was never designed so that it can hand over to you everything you need on a platter of gold, you start thinking differently. And by the system, somebody will ask, Jide, what do you mean by this thing you are calling system? For instance, in every government, in every country, there is an economic system, not just a political system. There's an economic system, and you have to understand when they open the borders for immigrants to come in, it wasn't because they fell in love with immigrants. Thank you, bro. That was not why the border was opened. It was because there was a shortfall within the system that required immigrants to come to fill in those voids. That was after Brexit, when they exited from the European Union. So for you that you came in, you came most likely with the notion that the system really loved you, and hence it opened the door for you to come and have a wealthy life. And the earlier you start understanding that every system is deliberate, every system is strategic, no system was built without any intention, you start sitting down, and the question you need to ask yourself is, then what is the aim? What is the motive of the system? If I'm going to follow the system the way it is designed, who is going to be at the receiving end, the lower end, I mean, and who is going to be at the top end? And that's why I keep telling you that if you are not careful, if this is all you are doing all your life, you will just discover that for another 10, 15, 20 years of your life, it seems as if nothing is changing. And Zig Ziglar would always say something. He said to do the same thing the same way and expect a different kind of result is a definition of insanity. Now many of us are in the system 3 years, 4 years. It looks like what we were promised is not what we are getting. What do I mean? Remember back then when you were in Nigeria, you came into the UK, you just thought when you come in, maybe after the first 2 or 3 years, everything would just set and life would be easy. You would have so much in savings, life would just be okay for you and blah, blah. But now it's like you are in UK and life is not okay. I remember that some of us came through what the master's route, believing that the reason why you are not doing well is because the course you studied in Nigeria, the certification you have in Nigeria is not good enough, that when you come into the UK and you do masters, suddenly work will just be there waiting for you everywhere. Just for you to enter in and you discover that the solution to what you are looking for is not necessarily in the course you studied. You would think it's only in Nigeria whereby you study a course and you do nothing with it when you finish. But until you entered into the Western world and you discover that you are also doing the same masters in quotes, some of you did it in data analysis, some of you did it in several courses, even public health. But you discover that when you come in, the work environment or the labor market is not going to grade you based on your certification in terms of your degree. The labor market is looking for what can you perform, what can you produce, what value can you add to the system. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this why? Because you must really get to understand that no matter where you find yourself, either in the Western world or in the third world country, the system has never been designed in a way to make you wealthy or to give you the kind of life you're looking for. And that's why we are having this conversation, so that you don't use the most active season of your life pursuing something that cannot take care of you for the rest of your life. Guys, if you are listening to me for the first time, my name is Jidene, your favorite financial educator here on TikTok, and I speak to people of my color here in the diaspora. I'm in the UK, of my color in the diaspora, on how we can position and structure our life in a way whereby that same reason why we came here, what you came here to look for, you can actually have it, and you don't have to grind for the next 10 years of your life before you have it. I do something once every quarter called the Smart Financial Move series. What is it all about? For 15 days back to back, from the 15th of the month of the month till the end of the month. How I do this is I stream every day 6 p.m. talking about several and various topics that can give you the kind of life that would put you at an advantage. Yesterday, I started by talking about understanding the system. So I will just read some of the topics that we'll also be considering. We are talking about dealing with debt. Today, we'll be focusing on debt. This thing called debt, what it is and how can we deal with it. We'll talk about credit score and credit reporting. We'll talk about budgeting and creating a financial management system. We'll talk about the different quadrants that everybody ought to move into so that you can move into your wealth zones. We talk about career growth. We talk about self-employment. We talk about insurance. We talk about building for the next generation, the children that you say is so that you can give your children the good life. How can you position yourself to give them that good life? We talk about building liability and building assets. How can you work yourself around this so that you are building assets? We'll talk about investment. We'll talk about business. Thank you so much. So there are several things that we'll be talking about again and again. Guys, there is one thing you can do, and we have to keep doing it for our community. We are a product of what we hear. We are not a product of the things we don't know alone. We are also a product of what we hear. Thank you so much, Ada. Please, if you have husband, share it to your husband. They say I should not say husband alone. If you have wife, share it to your wife. I found out that many of us could have done better if we have information that gives us that advantage. So it's important for you to know that people are products of what they feed on, not necessarily product of what they do. Your action is a product of what you have fed yourself with, either in terms of thoughts that have congealed to become habits. Habits now become character, which is now defining you. But no man is a void. Everybody is working by the inspiration of one thing or the other, depending on what you hear. And that's why I encourage, please share it to as many people as you know, so that they can also hear this, especially your friends. Why? Because you are the average of the 4 people that you have around you. You cannot be heading in the north direction and your friend is saying, no, don't go to north, let's come to west. You think you are the only one that can stand out. Please share it with them. And guys, because of TikTok, not because of me, when you join the live stream like this for the next, yes, today is 14 days, for the next 14 days, please make sure you keep tapping to increase the likes. It's not for me, it is for TikTok. It doesn't give me money. When TikTok sees things like this, it sees engagement on a page, and hence it's saying that, okay, because of this engagement, I can give them the opportunity to keep streaming. If not, TikTok will tell me I have 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes, I have to close the stream. So guys, let's do that. Another one I usually recommend, please, I don't need it. I will never ask you for coin. I don't need it. All right. And I'm not saying it out of pride. If you want to gift me, you're doing it voluntarily. But just click the love sign so that you can drop your one at me. One at me is just less than 0.00 whatever pound. Just drop it every day. This is not a box battle, so I'm not here to ask for any coin. It's just for us to learn. And we're going to be talking about a topic that is very critical today. Thank you so much. Guys, if you don't have water by your side, please, I will recommend you get water. Because it will soon get hot. What we'll be discussing today will soon get hot. But you know what I like about it? This is where real liberation and true freedom starts from. Liberation and true freedom starts from the things you know, then what you do with what you know. So in other words, if you keep coming here and you are listening without the intent to put to work, please, you are just wasting another time. So get water. But beyond getting water, make sure you also get a note, something you can use to jot, so that you can feedback on whatever you're hearing today. All right, so I am going to continue my conversation. Today, like I said, we're talking about debt. But before we talk about debt, I want to say something that is very important. If you look at my conversation, I always encourage people to understand that you cannot depend on the system. And by extension means you cannot depend on whatever a system has designed deliberately as your only means of income, which includes your salary. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I keep praying for us. The only reason why you remain employed is when your employer finds you employable or very valuable. The moment your value is reduced, the moment they see somebody else that can give the same value or the same service at a better rate, you become somebody that is usually threatened. And I pray for you also that you will never have any reason to fall sick or to be involved in an ailment that would affect your work. That is when you start understanding that working on salary alone is a very big eggshell. But I'm going to develop and break what I'll be doing for the next 14 days into 3. Guys, in as much as I will recommend and encourage you to make more money or to find a way to earn more, guys, it is not so much of how much you earn. At the long run, it is so much of how much you keep from what you earn. So if you are making £100,000 every month, every year, oh, I say every month, and somebody adds cut suddenly. All right, so if you are making £100,000 every year, and all you can keep at the end of the year is only £5,000, compared to somebody who is making £25,000 and is able to keep £3,000. Guys, the guy that is keeping £3,000 is doing way well than you that is earning £100,000, even though you kept £5,000. Why? Because if you look at the inflow, 100 came in, but at the end of the month, you were only able to keep only £5. Guys, it is very important for me to tell you this. If there is anything you must never miss in the next 14 days, is this my stream back to back every day for the next 14 days. Today making 14 days. Now I'll be streaming 6 p.m. every day. So for us, we have to understand that if you make more and you cannot keep more, it's as good as fetching water into a basket. If you make more and you cannot keep more, it's as good as fetching water into a basket. I remember back then when I was in Nigeria, I thought the problem was only to make more. That if I can make more money, I'll be fine. Just make me 5 million naira, that I'll be fine every month. One day, God answered that prayer and I was grateful to God. But something shocking happened to me that period. I discovered that the money reduced from 5 million naira to 200,000 naira. Suddenly, I started telling myself sincere truth that the challenge was not actually only to make more. Because I really actually made more, but I couldn't keep more. The money technically shrink back to the level of financial development that was within my system. So I can put 2,000 pounds extra into my hand. But the question is based on my financial level, both developmental and education, on how to manage it. How much will remain at the end of the month is actually the thing that is telling me the real capacity of what I have. For instance, imagine you are opportune to be the head of Dangote refinery or Dangote group of company for 1 month or for 1 year. Can you technically tell me that you have what it takes for that business to triple its income? Can you see that it's not so much about the opportunity that was given to you becoming the head of Dangote group? But the question is, do you have what it takes capacity-wise to move Dangote Group maybe from a $1 billion worth organization to a $2 billion worth organization? Can you see that what is in between now is no longer money, is not longer making more? It is the financial development. It is the financial capacity. So guys, in as much as I encourage us to make more, but I am in for learning how to keep more, learning how to manage more. So I have several students which I teach these things again and again. And you'll find out that sometimes it is not always about the fact that you are not making. And please, this is we talking to ourselves now. It's not always about the fact that we are not making more. It's about the fact that the way we are managing what is coming in will never make it increase. Guys, one of the best blessings that you have in the UK as somebody who owns a bank account is called your bank statement. Guys, within your bank statement are jewels. Within your bank statement are secret codes. And what are the secret codes? Your inflows and your outflows. Your bank statement is not just a statement. It is telling you the story about how you are and who you are from a financial point of view. It will never tell you who you are from a prayer point of view. It will never tell you who you are from a marriage point of view. It will tell you who you are from a financial point of view. Now, we are talking finance here, we are talking money, because that's why you're going to work. Except for some people that say, me, I just love being a carer. I don't really care about the money. Just let me care for people, and that is all. I say, make I greet you now. But if you are sure that the reason why you go out to work is to make sure that you can foot your bills, you can live the life that you really came here to live for. So I am talking to you tonight. What is my assignment to you when we are done here? Please go back to your bank statement from January till the end of April. Download that account statement. Why do you need to download and work on that account statement? That account statement will show you who you are from a financial point of view. Not necessarily how much you are making. Because many a times we know where money they come from, now only salary. Many a times. So the challenge is not yet where money is coming from. The challenge is where money is going and how I am spending. So your bank statement will start showing you your spending pattern. Your bank statement will start showing you that every month over 400 pounds is not spent on what you need, but what you just want. Your bank statement will show you that on every month's basis, for the past 4 months, you have been sending a minimum of 400 pounds to Lemfi Hence, in the past 4 months, you have sent over £1,600. Hence, you should start seeing why you are always in overdraft. It might look funny. It might look like I'm joking, but guys, I am going to be mixing fun with what I am saying gradually, because my statement, what we are talking about, is a very big thing. But the moment you go into your bank statement and you download it, say, what are you going to do with it? I usually recommend upload it into Perplexity AI or upload it into any AI of your choice. And what are you telling the AI to do? Tell AI to what? Break down all your expenses and your income into categories. Where is the money coming from? Where is the money going to? Tell that AI app to break it down. You know why I like using AI app? AI no go make excuse for all our spending. It go tell us. You know what? You start discovering that, wow, this is where majority of my money is going to. And why is this important? Guys, if you don't know where it is going, you cannot manage it. If you don't have a good view, an overview of where your money is going to, you go keep, they say, help me, help me, help me. I don't know where they carry me go. And this is where control starts from. What you cannot identify, you cannot manage. What you cannot identify, you cannot control. And what you cannot identify, you cannot improve it. So your bank statement there is more than just figures sitting down there. They are your reality for the past 4 months, telling you this is who you are. And you know what I like about it? It doesn't lie. It will tell you the truth. Now, what you do with that information is where your real liberation starts from. Before we start thinking of making more money, what you do with that information is where the real change that will come to you financially will start from. So that information will start breaking down. I remember I did it for myself, late end of 2024. And I discovered in a month, I have used over £250 buying TikTok coin. I am not doing box battle. I just like giving people because I am a liberal person. I love giving. But unfortunately, because of the way the system is developed, you press it small, it goes. You press it small, it goes. Until you sit down and you accumulate it together, you'll be shocked at what you have spent in a month just on Temu, just on Amazon, just on Shein, just on TikTok Shop and all these likes. And why is this important? This is important. Why? Because over time, you start seeing that many of us are spending money on things we don't have business spending money on. Somebody will say, DJ, say na your business. You mean I mean they work for my money. I agree, it's not my business. My work here is not to tell you change. My work here is to show you so that you can really know that is this the life I came to live for, or what are the limiting things that is holding me back from achieving the kind of life I came here to live for. And that's why today we are having this conversation around debt. Guys, I remember back in 2024, I used to be in overdraft debt of minus 2,800. Minus 2,800. And I was a digital marketing manager for one of the big logistics firm here in the UK. I had to tell myself the truth that if I continue like this, the only person that, or two people that will be happy if I continue this kind of life, number one is HMRC. The next set of person that will be happy if I continue this kind of life is my landlord. Why? Because these two people are the major, massive collector from my hand. They will be collecting back to back. So I had to sit down and ask myself, what do we need to do to fix this issue? And that is what brought about this topic we want to talk about tonight, called debt. So I have given you an assignment: download your account statement for the past 4 months, run it into an AI, ask questions. The question is, please categorize it. Let me see where my money is going to, know how I am spending. Should I tell you to ask one more question? Do you want to know the question? You can ask only one more question, but that question will go tough. Do you want to know one more question that you can ask the AI? If you don't want to know, let me just skip it and go on. All right, you want to know. Okay. Now, after uploading it and telling AI to categorize and break it, ask the AI that if I continue spending like this, when will I become wealthy? Guys, it looks funny. What I'm saying, it looks funny, but it's not funny. Why? Because this is a representation of the reality of many of us, especially in diaspora that moved to the UK. So you find out that for another 3-4 years, thank you so much, another 5 years, another 6 years, it's as though you are rolling in the same circle. And somebody said something to me, and that statement has not left me. He said, if things seemingly look like nothing is getting better for 3 years consecutively, he said there's every tendency that you are doing something wrong. You are trying to solve a problem at the level of knowledge with which it was created, using the same strategy, using the same system. It's already glaring to you that this thing that I am doing, the way I am doing it, will never give me the kind of life I'm looking for. And that is why we are having this conversation. The first one that we'll be having tonight is called talking about debt, dealing with debt. Debt is a conversation that many people don't like hearing. They don't like talking about. Why? Because it always increases heart palpitation whenever you hear debt. But one thing I've discovered about debt is the more you keep putting it under the pillow, the more you keep pushing it down, the more you are reducing your possibility to become successful and wealthy in life. The more you keep shying away from confronting it, the more you are restricting your potential for having the kind of life you came here to have. Guys, you must understand that debt is a product. Debt is not a miracle money from God. Debt is a system. Debt was never designed to make you wealthy. Guys, you have to understand that one of the major things that has trapped many people in the UK and in diaspora is called debt. So we need to have this conversation, because the moment we don't have this conversation, you find out that life seems difficult again and again, and it's like we are not meeting it. Until I faced myself and I told myself that, Jide, what can you do to move from negative £2,800 overdraft debt to living off debt? It seems as if nothing will change, and I will continue like that, even though I'm a digital marketing manager for a logistics firm. So you are working in a corporate space, but your life is not cooperating together from a financial perspective. So these are the things I want us to listen to tonight. Please, I'm not going to talk about aspire to perspire. So I really need us to sit down and listen so that we can get it. I remember back, I was watching something on the internet, an interview of the CEO of Visa and MasterCard. They were interviewing both of them. And when the Senate hearing, it's a US interview, when the Senate was interviewing them, they asked them that what is the average profit they made a year ago. And it is shocking to discover that they made over 200% in profit within a year. 200% in profit within a year. Imagine you own a business and your business is able to generate 200% return in a year. Guys, if you don't know this and you don't open your mind to this, you would think that the overdraft you have access to, you would think the credit card that they always give you access to easily, that credit card with somebody, credit card now water, somebody get for. You're going to start thinking it is your money or it's your advantage. And that's why I needed to clarify it for you, that you must understand that debt is a product. It is not a blessing. Debt is a product. It is not an answer to a prayer. The moment you get to understand this, then you would ask yourself, who are they profiting from? How are they profiting from us? One more stat that I did. Guys, if you don't have this app called Snoop, Snoop, please go and download it. You know what I like about Snoop? Snoop gave me the opportunity to know how much I have been spending in money, either as house rent, as overdraft, as different way or in different form. Snoop gave me that opportunity. Thank you so much, bro. All right, Snoop, Snoop. Just go to your app and download it. Attach your accounts to it, especially the accounts whereby majority of your expenses, which includes your salary, is going to. It will help you aggregate, and some of the things you don't pay attention to, you start seeing them. Guys, I want to share some stats. I'll be turning my screen to share some stats of some of the things that I was able to download and Snoop showed me over the years, so that you can have an idea of what I am saying. All right, so let me turn my camera. Let me open the folder and turn my camera, guys. All right, beautiful. Okay, so let me try and open the I hope you can see it on my screen. I believe you can see my screen. Oh, it's too white. Let me see if I can increase it. Okay, so let me click it and open it one after the other. This is Amazon. It's showing my expenses on Amazon. All right. So from March 2023 till I made up my mind to be financially prudent, on Amazon, I have spent £1,624. £1,624. That is number one. I would open the second one. Is my Google Play, whereby you see things that has to do with you are shopping, you are buying things, you are doing all those things you are doing on your, for instance, my own will be more of things I do on TikTok. It's showing that from April 2023 till when I stop all these bad habits, I have spent 2,862 shopping and using Google Play as a means of payment. Guys, let's continue. It never finish. The next one, Timo. On Timo, it's saying between 2023 till when I started taking my finances serious, I have done nothing less than £1,000 on Timo, shopping on Timo. Please, this one is different from Amazon. All right, let me open another one because it never finish. Many of us, we are getting closer to where we belong. This is on Klarna. From my account, I am not a big Klarna spender, right? I have done roughly £400 spending with Klarna, right? Let's move on. It never finished. ClearPay. This is where, for me, it was super shocking. That from 2023 till when I took my finance serious, I have done £3,821 on ClearPay. Guys, I did for my overdraft. I discovered that since 2021 till date, I have also done nothing less than 700 plus overdraft interest. Not the real overdraft, the interest from overdraft. Guys, I say make you get water. Me too, I need to drink water. Guys, we can make all the money the world has to offer us until we sit down and start focusing on where the money is going. and managing it better, you will be shocked that some of the complaints we are complaining, they are self-inflicted. Guys, all the amount I have shown you there, do you know that it is sufficient for a down payment of deposit for house? Do you know that all the amount I just showed you there, if I put it together, it is sufficient for a down payment of a deposit for a property? But I will keep complaining that there is no enough money, that money is not coming in, that the system is not making me more money. Guys, when I say it's not so much of how much you are making, it is first about how much you are keeping. And that is why we are sitting down to focus on this topic called debts. You so much have available around you overdraft, money that is not your own. You have the Klarna system. You have the ClearPay system. Can you see what my ClearPay cumulatively has turned to over £3,000? But it came with, is it not just paying 4 times installment? Why are you behaving like a stingy person? Is it not just 4 times? But cumulatively, it has gotten to as high as £3,000 plus. Guys, for every time you build up a mindset and a lifestyle of depending on money that is not your own, it is a training to your mind. Many of us really need to sit down and ask ourselves, what I am using my Klarna, my overdraft, my credit card to do, is it actually working positively to my own favor? Or is it against my own progress? I did not even bring any information about credit card into this conversation. So you can see when I say that what I have just shown you in Start, this is real Start talking to us, can show you that more than £10,000 within the space of less than 3 years. What do you mean 3 years? In less than 2 years has gone into systems and into places whereby it is not adding value to me, but it is easier for me to spend it. Guys, you must understand that debts, especially overdraft and credit card, it is not your money. The moment you understand that it is a product, it is designed to make people who created it wealthy, not you to become wealthy. You will start understanding that, imagine me, I'm not an heavy user of overdraft. And in the space of less than 3 years, I have done over £700 in overdraft interest. Interest alone. Now think of a bank that has 1 million. Hi, this is big. That has 1 million users of overdraft. And they are all doing average of £500 in overdraft interest. Guys, you must understand this product. If you don't understand this product, you'll find out that this is the same thing that is sipping money from you gradually. And that's why I said it's not so much of how much you are making. It is so much of how much you are keeping. And that's why we are paying attention to the management of how we are using this money. And one of the major culprits has always been the debts, credit card, and our famous overdraft. Some are saying me, the reason why I am using credit card is so I can build my credit score. Make I laugh you. Can credit card help you build your credit score? Yes. Do you need it to build your credit score? The answer is no. Why? Because many of us really don't have business with debts until when we got that credit card. We started by saying I will not be using more than £10 every month. Before you know, you have increased it to 20. Before 20, it has entered 30. Remember the last time you used it, you have used £50 out of it. Why? Because the way credit system was designed is for you to survive on money that is not within your means. You must understand it. Credit there is an allowance showing that if your earnings or whatever you are earning now is not able to take that for you, then you can spill over your means, meaning that cut your coat more than your size. Instead of you sitting down and telling yourself the reality that this is already telling me that whatever I have, I am already living beyond my means. Now, you know what that thing makes room for? Some of us have overdraft opportunity of as high as £4,000, yet you don't have anything in savings. I tell people that when it comes to finance, it's not about feeling you are doing well. It is actually about knowing that you are doing well. It's not about having money around you that is not your own, making you feel that you are doing well. It is necessary you have to know that you are really doing well, because that's where the financial liberty starts from. Somebody said, I have 300 overdrafts. Make I clap for you. The point we are making is, guys, why not train your mind and rather ask, how can I build my own, than waiting and depending on something that is conditioning your mind to get used to seeing negative perpetually in your account. Like, it is becoming normal. It's becoming normal for you to see negative, like your account after the first 3 weeks of every month, it has entered into minus 200 overdrafts and you are okay. Oh, awesome. Well done. Why? Because you must understand that this is a controlled system. It's a deliberate system. And the more you depend on things like that, you know what you are weakening? You are weakening your financial muscle to understand, how can I live above debt? How can I live above this money? Especially the way many of us are using it. Somebody will say, yes, Jide, are you saying that credit is not good? Guys, I know there's good debt, there's bad debt. But if we are all sincere and honest with ourselves, the way we are using debt, we are using it for consumables. We are not using it for business, neither are we using it to build wealth. Have you sat down to ask yourself, why is it so easy for me to access £23,000 in car finance, even though they know all my entire salary for a year is not more than £25,000? But they can gracefully give me a car of £23,000 in car finance, so that I can keep wallowing in that debt. But if you go back to them and say you need £20,000, you want to start business, then you start hearing things like unsecured loan, secured loan, you have to use your house as collateral, because now you are talking business. But if it comes to using it to buy car for car finance, that is a liability that is not bringing money into your hand. They find it so easy for you to access all those debts. Guys, we must get to understand, and this is where it becomes very tricky. Unfortunately, for most of us, the only means of paying back this debt is only our salary. So you become a very, very endangered species that we keep praying for you that nothing happens to your work. Why? Because immediately, if anything drops in your finance or anything affects your work, whereby you cannot earn as much as you are earning again, then you will know how exposed you are. You will know how much debt has become a chain, a slavery system, than an advantage. Yeah, say no, we are in the Western world, the way the system is designed so that you can have access to, to credit facilities, and you are not doing business, you are not using it to create money, but you just have access to credit facility. Before you know, you saw something on, thank you, how are you, bro? You saw something on Timo. By the time you say click on the yellow basket, you click on the yellow basket, they say pay 3 installments. You do it the first one. Right? You see that it's just £20 every month for the next 3 months, Klarna, right? You do that. But many of us don't keep record. So you do that once, you do that twice, you do that 3 times, then it's easy when you were doing it. But when Klarna is now dipping his hand back into your account to remove more than £100 every month, your eye go dey strong. So you see, when I say it's not so much of how much you make, it is always so much of how much you keep. You'll find out that before you think of making more, make sure the system where you are making the money into is a system that can keep more than is going out. Why am I saying this? If you check many of the businesses we work for, it is easy for money to come in. Check your workplace, for instance. It is easy for money to come in, right? But when money has to go out, that is when you start seeing paperwork. You go to account will give you form to fill. Ask your manager to sign. By the time your manager will sign, they will tell you that the money will be released in another 2 days or another 3 days. Can you see that the system itself, every real organization, has created a structure whereby it's a lot easy for money to go in. But if money will go out, it has to go through bureaucratic processes. Why? Because if you don't do like that, you will be shocked one day that they will open the company account and all they will see there is maybe £10. And I'm saying this, that once you don't understand this and start applying it to yourself, you find that most of the time, what you are buying, what you are using, what you are earning is way, way less than what you are spending. Guys, I have a stat which is staggering. I'll turn my screen and share the stats now. I'll read through it so that you can know why I am talking to people of my color, most especially. Guys, if you are not following me, there's every tendency you are making mistakes when it comes to finance. Why? God will do it. It does not solve financial problem. It is the information and the insight you have on how money works. I drew out some stats and I like data. You know what data will show? Data will show you where you are. Just like your accounting statement. Your accounting statement, if you say it's demon that is eating your money, you see the demon inside your account balance. Hopefully, the data I'm showing, it will be clear enough to see. If it's not, I will still read it out to you. All right, so this is employment rate by ethnicity. So what I did was to look at the stats, and this is purely UK based. Look at the stats and have a breakdown of employment rates by ethnicity. And it's between the age of 16 and 64. You will find out that when it comes to employment rate, 67% of we blacks are employed, which sounds good, right? Beautiful. 82% of whites are employed, but 67% of we blacks are employed, right? Let me go to the next one, which is the earning, the occupation by breakdown. 39% of Indians are in the high professional roles. So when you talk about the engineering roles, the tech role, the banking role, stat is saying that 39% of Indians occupy that role, while 21%, roughly 22%, are Pakistan and Bangladesh. Now it starts getting close to us. It's saying that 13% of blacks are in the what? Elementary role, which is the low paid job, while 47% of we blacks are in public admin, health and education roles. So you can see that a large population of we blacks are already in jobs that will reflect this second one very well. Our earning potential is low. As regards earning per hour, an average Chinese is earning £16 per hour. When you come to Indian, £15 per hour. Please, guys, this is average. This is median. You understand? So it's not a representation of saying that is what you are earning. When it comes to we black, overall, the blacks is at the range of £13.5 per hour. When the non-UK, these are Africans, are within that £12.95 per hour. You can see our earning potential. If you look at what we own in terms of wealth distribution, for every £1, Africans or black Africans just own 10% of every £1. You can see that Indian is the next, Pakistan is the next, Black Caribbean, Bangladesh, then African is owing just 10% of every £1 in the UK. That's 10 pence, right? Beautiful. Self-employment. You can see that when it comes to creating business and owning things that people that can increase people's potential, self-employment, that's running your own business. Pakistan and Bangladesh are leading. Africans only have 9.8% of us are self-employed, even though 67% of us are looking for job or in the employment space. Move to the next one. If you look at wealth, I have done that, right? Let me move to the next one after wealth. This is where it becomes very critical now. Over indebtedness. That means when you are over into debt more than what you are earning, it simply means that what you are spending as debt is higher than what you are earning. We, the blacks, 28% of us are already in this bracket. In other words, we are the one leading the engagement or the conversation when it comes to indebtedness. Black Caribbean are the second, following by Pakistanis, average loans, and all the likes. Now, guys, why is this stat important? This stat is important. Why? Because it's telling us a reflection of our culture. It's telling us a reflection of our lifestyle. It's telling us a reflection of how we engage with money. If you don't pay attention to this, you would think that the problem we have in this system is only immigration rules. And I'm saying no. It is more than just immigration rules. It is how we interact and deal with money. And it's not our fault sometimes. Why? Because we came from a system whereby we didn't have access to debt. In Nigeria, you say you want to borrow money from the bank, they'll say you go and bring your grandmother's burial certificate. We are the only set of people that will not mind using overdraft to send money back home to go and take care of our family members. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong. But I'm saying that if we are not careful, you will find that we blacks would always be at the bottom of the food chain. By extension, the debt system is milking Africans than is milking anybody of any other ethnic in UK. Why? Because we see it like free money. We see it like money that I can easily fall on it. Like some of us are so comfortable to see our accounts regularly in negative. Like regularly. And I sit down to ask you, is this life you came to settle for? Is this what a good life really means to you? You are in the UK. Is this the definition of what you call a good life? You cannot afford not to do the second job. Why? Because of debt. You cannot afford not to take the extra shift because of debt. But some of us think that those debts are legitimate. I just showed you my own from 2003, between the space of 2 years, what my debt was like. All because there was overdraft available. All because there was Klarna available. All because there was credit card available. Guys, you need to go back. Some of you need to go and download your Lenfi account statement and see how much you have spent in the past 2 years. By the time you download it and check it, you will see that you really don't have any business being in debt. And the reason why I'm saying this is if you don't start paying attention to this, even if you make more money, your spending culture will just bloat. Why? Because you have not paid attention to the main thing that is causing this thing called debt. And that's why I have to let you understand that debt is not your money. Debt is not your money. Oh, Ndidi, I want to be your friend though. I like your financial, your how do I call it now? You look like somebody taking finance. Let me follow you first. If I've not followed you, I've just followed you back. Guys, the moment you start paying attention to this, you start seeing where the real problem is. You start seeing that the real problem, thank you, bros. The real problem is not the fact that you are not making more. The real problem is the fact that the way you are spending the money, there's no way you can ever have savings. I have some students in my community that I am taking through this. So I remember at the beginning of the year, we sat down and looked at their finance for 2025. And somebody discovered that in the place of, thank you so much, sis, in the place of 1 year, he has done nothing less than £7,000 in Lemfi back to Nigeria. This person is not building house in Banana Island. This person is not buying any assets. He's not building anything. But he's sending money back. Is it wrong to send money back? No, it is not. We'll talk about all these things and show us how can we do it in a better way so that you can live healthy. Remember, I say it's not about feeling you are doing well. It's about knowing you are doing well. Many of us are true to every other person except ourselves. God will solve it. It will happen. Things will change. I will just get better. Don't worry. Things will change. Things will just work for me. Thank you, Ikena. It can never happen like that, guys. You see why financial education is a major thing that you must pay attention to. Many of us are diligent to know how many hours we worked in a week. The week that you did 50 hours, but they mistakenly registered 45 hours. You have pulled out your payslip and you are saying, "Dear manager, I just wish to inform you that last month I discovered that over 5 hours was removed from my pay. Please help us rectify it." So you are diligent to pay attention to where money is coming in from. But you are not diligent to pay attention to how the money is going. Guys, I did something in 2023 that really liberated us. Remember I told you to download an app called Snoop. One day I entered into my Snoop app and I checked how much have we been spending on house rent. In 18 months, just 18 months, thank you so much, I discovered that we have spent nothing less than £27,000 in 18 months. 18 months, £27,000. What's the name of the app? SNOOP, Snoop. That's the name. Snoop Doggy, Snoop. That's the name. 18 months, £27,000. Now, let me create some story around it. Do you know that it is one of the biggest expenses that you will keep spending all your life, especially if you are in the UK, your house rent? Unfortunately, many of us are faithful at it, but we don't sit back to even track how much has gone out of my hand in the past 1 year as house rent or 2 years. When I saw that figure, I was angry. You know why I was angry? I was angry because I cannot continue like this. If I continue like this, I'll keep complaining about the reason why money is not enough in my hand. So what did I do? I sat down, I took the map of UK and I broke it down. I knew, and suddenly I discovered that living from the south end of UK to the Midlands, the higher you go, the less your expense, especially house rent, become. Why? Because house rent became the major chunk. And if you check your budget, if you have one, you discover that the major chunk of your expense is house rent. So the higher you go, you discover that the less you pay in house rent. So what did I do? It is my work. Now me won't get better life. I started researching because my wife is on COS. I started researching for where can we get COS from Midland up. Between Midland and North, where can we get COS? And we're able to get COS somewhere around the Wirral, close to Liverpool, like 12 minutes away from Liverpool. But the shocking thing that happened within 1 year? What about work opportunity? Bro, you'll be shocked that there's work opportunities. That was the same thing that people were saying then. Within 1 year, we were able to save from house rent alone £6,000. From house rent alone, within 1 year, we were able to save £6,000. Guys, do you know what it means? By moving from one location to another location. Do you know what £6,000 is in your own yearly income. Do you know how many hours you would have to work to gather 6,000 pounds? I'm saying so. Why? Because I have no business with being overdraft debt perpetually if I can manage my finance. And that's the simple truth. So, because my finance was not able to take care of my expenses, I had no reason but to put my hand into what? Overdraft debt. You know, if that was all, it would have been fine, right? At least we've improved by 6,000 pounds. Within 1 year, I gave myself and my wife a target, by the grace of God, definitely, but with planning, that we have to move from being a rented apartment to a homeowner. Why? Because I sat down and I did the mathematics, and this is where the mathematics became clear. Remember when I said I used Snoop to check my expense? The 27,000 pounds I spent in rent. Do you know what it has happened? I have helped the landlord to pay for the mortgage that he collected for that property and gave him profit on it at my own expense. What did I get from it? Future building? Nothing. So pé ó ti lọ. So indirectly, I was building the mortgage or paying the mortgage of my landlord to the tune of 27,000 pounds. While after 18 months, there is nothing accrued to me towards my own property purchase. So I told my wife that yes, now we have saved 6,000. The extra 6,000 is not for Oble. And that's the mistake many people make. They start bloating their lifestyle. Remember the work. The work is whatever is the biggest expenses in your hand. Whatever you can do to drop it down will give you breathing space. I'm telling you why some people are already in debt. I'm telling you why they would always be in debt. Not because they like. This is one of the reasons. No. So within 1 year, we were able to secure our own property. Now, you know the shocking thing that happened after securing our own property? Our monthly mortgage payment dropped to 750 pounds. So between when we were paying 1,050 pounds when we moved to Wira and when we got our own property, that means within another 1 year, we will be able to save nothing less than 3,600 pounds extra. Guys, if you are not deliberate in this country, and I say it with all sense of humility and respect, you find out that you are working hard, but it's not showing. Why? Because it's not so much of how hard you work, but it's so much of how smart you are working. You see why I call it smart financial moves. Some of us need to sit down. They say, but the children are established here. When you move children, don't you know it will destabilize them? You know, blah, 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 blah. I said, who they talk establish? Children where I don't even get time for. Why? Because I have to do extra job. Number one. Thank you, Mary J. Number one. Number two, do you know what the shocking thing I discovered? The moment we moved, before we establish ourselves in this our new location, our children don't establish more than us. And this is why I tell people, you have done the biggest risk of your life, packing everything you have from Nigeria, selling. Some of you sold everything, and you moved away from Nigeria to the UK. You have done the biggest risk. And the reason why you move, you must remember it. Why? Because you are looking for a better life. Now, unfortunately, you moved and your first landing port was London. And suddenly you are seeing it as a place of comfort. And I'm telling you that, guys, the only time you stop your movement is when you get to where or what looks like what you are looking for. Guys, I knew I was not coming to this country to look for a life whereby I'll keep paying house rent all my life, or I'll keep having financial difficulties all my life. That was not why I moved. So I couldn't have told myself that I've gotten to the place of rest yet. No. Why? Because my finances was not saying it. Even though I could have access to overdraft and credit card around me, I know this is not the kind of life I'm looking for. Until I moved, I discovered that I can actually live a whole year without having any reason to depend on credit card and overdraft. Wow, that was phenomenal. Guys, this thing I'm telling you, nobody will come to your workplace to teach you this. This thing I'm telling you, no government website will sit you down and say this is how to structure your life. So when I'm saying if you are working only by what the system has put in front of you, you must sit down and ask yourself, is it getting me close to the kind of life I'm looking for? And should I shock you? We have only been in the UK for roughly 3.5 years. Roughly 3.5 years. So I'm telling you that you don't have to be in the system for 10 years or 8 years or 12 years before you start putting your finance together and getting yourself closer to where you want to get to. Now, what are the things you need to do so that you can start making sure that debts, and I use the word debt now. Oh, thank you so much. But you know what I am doing? That is why we're bringing the knowledge here, so that we can change that indebtedness equation where we Africans, 28% of us, are collecting debt beyond what we are earning. That's why we are having this conversation. Because if we continue that way, we'll be the only one keep complaining about everything. Why the Arab man who is selling things, your African store, is not going to complain. Why? Because if there's an increase in price anywhere, it will transfer it to you, the buyer. So we need to start having this conversation and understanding that debt is a product. Debt is not a blessing. Debt is not miracle, no dey tire Jesus. Debt is a product with an intention of enriching those who created it. And unfortunately, many of us are using it on consumables. So we are not using it on anything that can become an asset. By extension, we are using it to buy car. We are using it to buy wig. You know, it's shocking. And I say it with all sense of respect. It's shocking. It's shocking that it is easy for me. Let's assume I'm a carer. It is easy for me to walk to a dealership shop and get a Benz of 23,000 pounds, and I don't have 5,000 pounds in savings. Don't you think there's an issue? Oh, we'll have a day where we'll talk about life insurance, don't worry. Don't you think there's an issue? They have looked at my account balance. They look at my statement. They've done a sort check on me, a ad check, everything they want to check. They said that if you download my account statement and submit it. Is it not shocking that they are comfortable giving me a liability of 23,000 pounds, even though they know that I don't have up to 2,000 pounds in savings? Guys, debt is a product. Debt is not your money. Debt is a funny money. Many people would have never been in debt, would have never experienced the trap of debt, if not the fact that it was easily accessible to them. So it is important for us to sit down and start asking yourself, how do I engage with debt? So what are the things, or how can you start dealing with debt gradually? I am an advocate of no debt except for business. An advocate of no credit card except for business. I am an advocate of no overdraft except for business. So instead of me depending on it, I would ask myself, how can I create the money I need to solve that problem? So instead of me shying away from the fact that there is a problem of ground, which is financial, instead of me running away from it to look for the easy way out, I sit down to ask myself, what are the things I can do to increase my earnings so that I don't depend on debt? And like I said, it's dangerous. Why? Because many of us, the only way of paying our debt is through our salary. I keep praying for you. I will pray for you that nothing will find a reason, nothing in your work will find a reason why they will fire you. They will never downscale, and they are thinking that you are the next person they should downscale. Nothing would happen to your health whereby you cannot afford to work for the next 2 months. Do you know what that means to your finance? I keep praying for you. I keep praying for you. Because if you don't understand this thing, you would think that those things that are in front of you, overdraft, credit card, are to your advantage. No, especially the way we are using it. So what is the first thing you need to do? Is you must start creating an abundant mindset. You must understand that wealth is not money first. Wealth is first internal before it is external. Abundance is not external first. Abundance is a mindset. It is possible to live without depending on overdraft. It is possible. If it is not possible, I'll not tell you, because I am a true and a living witness of it. It is possible. Yes, even though you are in it right now and you are still wallowing with overdraft, but please, you must tell yourself it is possible to live without it. Why? Because the moment you keep depending on it, what you are doing is like somebody that has a muscle and is not developing it, is not utilizing it, is not grooming it, and he wants to go into the ring and fight somebody who has been carrying weight, developing himself. You should know who will win. You cannot win that way. So it is possible. You have to start exercising your financial muscle. You know what it is possible will lead you to. It will lead you to the second question then: how can I make more money? But if you say no, it is not UK, would they okay? Everybody know how we they manage them. All of us are living all over. Guy, it's not all of us, so it's not all of us. It's not. And this is why sometimes I appreciate the Nigeria system, whereby if you want to get something, you know you can afford it. For me, that's the true definition of affordability, not this funny one that they do for us sometimes. Affordability that, God forbid, if you lose your job, you suddenly find out that you cannot even afford it. It is possible. And the moment you have this kind of mindset, there's a way you start working that is different from the average resident in the British system. If you start thinking this way, something in you which represents who we truly are as blacks, the people who go out of the way to create, it will start rising in you. Suddenly you find out that you are not among the people that keep complaining that it's because they are not paying us this much salary, it's because this is what we are earning. No. Remember where you came from now. Remember, nobody was handing over overdraft to you. Nobody was handing over credit card to you. And you were able to create something out of that chaotic system that you were back then. It is possible. It is possible. Somebody said or asked a question, though I don't like responding to questions. And this is where we must understand where the conversation is. Credit card is not bad, but credit card's intent is for profitability. Overdraft overdraft access is not bad, but overdraft intent is for profitability. Now, what makes a difference between how many of us use it, and if we are true to ourselves, how many of us use it? We don't use it to do business. How do I mean? Imagine I have access to overdrafts, but I am a baker. So I saw something on Amazon. I now bought that thing from Amazon for my business, knowing fully well that if I use it for business, it will generate money, and hence it can cater for whatever is going to be paying. It's different from me using my own salary to buy that thing, and the thing I'm buying has no way of generating income for me. Hence, I would have to use the salary that is coming again the next month to take care of that thing which I have bought now. And this is the difference between the rich and the poor. The way the rich use credit or they use liability is different from the way we, the poor, I want to say we, not me in Jesus' name, not us. Not us. It's different from the way the poor use liability. They use it to create assets. For instance, somebody used credit to go and buy a car of £23,000 just because he wants to go to work. While another person used £23,000 to buy a car with the intention of using it for Uber. Do you know that both of them are not the same car? The first car is a liability. Why is it a liability? Because it will keep taking money from you in terms of insurance. It will take money from you in terms of servicing. It will take money from you in terms of MOT and every other tax that you need to pay, right? Why this other person that used it for Uber, the moment he makes money from it, from what he has made, he can easily cater from whatever credit he used in buying that car. And that is the right way to use credit. So if you are using credit any other way than this, it is not to your advantage. It is a product, and you are the one paying interest or paying commission to those who own it on their behalf. So that's why I say you must start with your abundance mindset. It is possible to live outside credit. It is. Do you know how it feels to look at your account balance and you can see 1,000 or 2,000 in your name? In your name. That means after you have worked 30 days every month, they've removed everything they need to remove and every other stream of income. You can look at your account balance and it is reading £2,000 in your name. Doesn't it feel better? That's the question. And that's why you have to be careful what you are accumulating or allowing into your flow. It is possible. So it is possible to live without depending on credit card the way we are using it. It is possible to live without depending on overdraft the way we are using it. Deal with that scarcity mindset. The reason why I'm using it is because I don't have so much money. The reason why I'm using it is because my salary cannot be enough. The moment you keep saying that, what you are telling yourself is it is not possible. And there are two different things that happen to your brain when you say it is not possible and it is possible. When you say it is not possible, your brain settles into it and believe that this is our reality and this is how it's meant to be going on. When you tell yourself it is possible for me to live without it, the next thing your brain is thinking is, how can I do it? How can I do it? Once you get to that angle whereby you are asking yourself, how can you do it? I need to clap for you. Why? Because true freedom is just by the corner. So that is the first thing. Everything begins here. If a man is going to be defeated, it starts from here, not from his hand. It's from here. Haven't you seen people who are skillful, but they are afraid to come out to do things, but they are skillful? Why? Because somewhere in their mind, it is telling them that they are not good enough. It is not always about what you have in your mind. That's why I pay attention to what is going on here, which leads to the second thing I want to say. It's called financial education. Financial education. Guys, we go to school to study a course, and the course will take us 4 years. We write paper, we do project work, we defend it, only to come out so that we can be called a professional in a discipline. And they will see us as an enlightened person to handle that discipline. But when it comes to money, which is the bottom line of why you are going to school, to go and learn and be a professional in the first place, many of us spend little to no educational involvement or input into understanding how money works. Like I was talking to people yesterday, I said many people are actually planning for a life that will be a rude shock when they retire. For instance, people are paying NI in contribution, but they don't know what the NI is going to do for them. They are paying NI and they have to do it until they retire, right? All right, some of you know NI simply means your national individual contribution. Okay, so that's your own contribution into what cumulatively become what they use to service state pension. When you retire, there are two kinds of funds that come to you, your personal pension and the state pension. Because of lack of information, many of us don't know that for you to qualify for a state pension, at least you must have done that NI contribution for a minimum of 10 years. That means, I'm not saying you should have been in the UK for 10 years. You must have contributed for a minimum of 10 years. All right, that's number one. Now, for you to get the full NI package, you must have done your NI contribution for a minimum of 35 years. Do the mathematics. If your retirement age is 67 for those of us in the UK, and I must have done NI contribution for 35 years, means that I must have been in the working sector with no break paying my NI for a total of how many years? That will be 67 minus 35. That means 32 years I must have been in the UK working, paying and contributing towards NI for me to get the full NI contribution. Can you see that any one of us that came into the UK after 32 years, we should not be expecting a full NI contribution? And that is what some people are using to plan their retirement. Can you see why education matters? I did not even tell you how much is the NI, what's your state pension at the end when you retire. Currently, it is less than £1,000 per month. So imagine somebody who was working, using his active season to serve the system, paying his tax and doing all the contribution required. Now, when you are retired, when you need the most help of your life. Why? Because I call retirement the most vulnerable season of your life. There are two vulnerable seasons of your life: when you were young and when you are retired. Why? Because your earning potential is usually the lowest at that period. And you know, at 67 and above, ideally, your eating habits or your eating timetable will change. Why? Because your health now becomes a major priority. So you are selective. You cannot just take eba and pounded yam and swallow it like you are swallowing it. So you are selective of what you will be eating at that age. And by extension means that what you will be spending on food will be relatively higher than what you are spending now. God helping you, between that 30-something years, you still have mortgage that you are paying. So it simply means that when you, in quotes, need the support of the system, but because you are not as valuable as you used to be when you were working, but unfortunately, this is the only thing you were using to build your life. Now, the government is putting you at a risky position. This is why I say education is a very important thing when it comes to finance, especially for those of us in the UK. Ignorance is never a strategy. Ignorance is not a strategy. Education is key. Guys, my name is Jide Neye, your favorite financial educator here on TikTok. And I do this once every quarter, 15 days back to back, where I stream, talking to people like my caller in Diaspora, UK for instance, because I am based in the UK, about how you have to position yourself for the life you came here to live for. And you cannot do it by working hard. You can only do it by working smart. So in the next 15 days, yesterday we started and today is day 2. We'll be covering topics like understanding the system, dealing with debt, credit score, credit reporting. We'll be talking about budgeting and creating a management system. We'll be talking about the 4 different quadrants that an average person need to move from into the next one so that you can create your wealth journey. We'll be talking about self-employment, which I call stretching yourself to the wealth zones. We'll be talking about insurance. We'll have a section where we are talking about building the next generation. What time? It is 6 p.m. You can see it in the banner up there, 6 p.m. daily. We'll be talking about networking, mentoring, and accountability. We'll be talking about building assets as against liability. We'll be talking about investment. We'll be talking about business. So it's going to be one of the best 15 days of your life. Some of the prayer you have been praying to God, that God, how I go solve this thing, what thing I go do to come out of this thing where the experience, it is right on your table. And that's why I'm saying everybody who is joining now, welcome. And please follow me, because if you are not following me, the likelihood that you are making decision that is losing you money is high. Another reason, thank you, Kodo. Another reason why I will admonish you to follow is because TikTok will notify you whenever I'm live streaming. And please, there is a particular fake account. At least I know about 4 of them, fake Jide Neye accounts that will come to you and tell to you that, how are you? I teach people how finance. How is your investment? There's a crypto investment or blah, blah. It is not for me. I will never come to your DM to talk to you about any investment. Anybody who is doing that, please block them. It is not from me. You no go lose money. That is why I said I should mention that. Continue with our conversation. So we've spoken about the mindset. Now we're talking about education. Ignorance is never a strategy. It is not possible to live without debt. If you say so, you are correct. But I want you to know that it is an expression of ignorance sometimes. It is not possible. How is it possible to live without debt? How can I do without overdraft or Klarna? You are correct. But it also could be an expression of your ignorance. And that's why I say knowledge is now a leveler. Knowledge is something that brings about a difference. Knowledge is something that suddenly starts showing you that there is a better way to do it. And by the kind of knowledge I'm talking about is financial education. Many of us grew in family whereby the only thing they tell us about money is God will do it. Let us pray for it. If you ask your father for something, you think I'm plugging money from the tree. But your father has never explained to you how to make it. Why? Because they also are trying to learn how to make it. So knowledge about finance is not something that comes to us naturally. And that is why we have to double our efforts. We have to double our interest in getting this knowledge. Somebody says something and it's very painful. He said, if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. He said, if you want to finish that black man, go and put that book in a library. It is painful, but how true it is. But we can start changing it. Why? Because we are becoming a product of the ignorance that we are experiencing. So the more I get knowledge to understand how pension works, the more I get knowledge to understand how investments work, the more I get to understand what is the cash flow cycle of an employee as against a business person, the more I get to understand the tax system, the more I get to understand this knowledge, the more you can use it to your advantage. And don't forget that ignorance is a product. Ignorance is a product. It's a deliberate product. Nobody will call you in your workplace to teach you any of these things I'm teaching you. No school system will sit you down to teach you anything that I'm teaching you now. Why? Because they know the moment you know it, you know what happens. Liberation, true liberty. Liberation, true liberty. The moment you know these things, guys, how will somebody that knows that if I keep working this way and earning this money, that when I grow old, the only thing they will give me is so amount of money that cannot even take care of my expenses when I grow? How would that kind of person with that kind of knowledge will now sit and say the only thing I want to do is 9 to 5 or the job? The same job whereby the moment they don't find you relevant, they knock you off. And you know how HR will do it. They'll write it, oh, sorry, you are the best thing that ever happened to us after sliced bread. But because of some economic reason, we are sorry to say we let you go. Who would always go? It's the people. The business know they go anywhere. So when they know, or when you are empowered with such knowledge, they know that they've also empowered you with you to question things. So ignorance is a deliberate product to keep many people in a zone whereby they keep living life without understanding what they are doing from a financial perspective. Guys, you must understand the reason why you are going to work. It's because of money. I know, say you like here, you like warehouse, I know. But you must understand that beyond that like, if you cannot pay your bills, it's a major thing. No tata for nyonyo. So you must understand that ignorance is something that if you don't start dealing with it, and you know what I like about it, ignorance is a programming that we grew up with. The only way to change it is to get myself enlightened to knowledge of how money works, knowledge to understand the game of debt, or knowledge to understand how tax works, knowledge to understand how investment works, knowledge to understand this and that. That thing starts helping me to see life in a better perspective. One of the best books that helped me then was Rich Dad Poor Dad. Rich Dad Poor Dad started showing me that the way people earn more is by solving problems. The way people can increase their income is by creating services, creating values, creating products, and people who are in need of it can pay for it, hence they can earn more. Rich Dad Poor Dad starts showing me that if you keep working for money, you will only be the one complaining all the time, even when they change immigration rules and the like. And you can't see from even the immigration laws that are being made that they are favoring more of people who can earn more. But the system is okay to make you sit in a place whereby you cannot earn more. So knowledge in books, knowledge in conversations like this. Look at what we are doing right now. Do you know what you are hearing will start doing to your mind? You cannot hear this thing again and again for 1 year and you remain the same place. I have not done anything extra. I have just given you enlightenment. Guys, knowledge is a leveler. Knowledge is a game changer. And what I like about knowledge is I can be at this level in life financially with the right information and the right knowledge. I can move from a 2 to a 7. From a 2 to a 7. Knowledge is a game changer. So ignorance is never a strategy. Your growth is always at the expense or is at the mercy of the knowledge that you are getting. Your growth, what you become financially, is always at the expense of the knowledge you are getting. What you are looking for is also looking for you, but unfortunately is not looking for this version of you. What you are looking for is also looking for you. The job you are looking for is also looking for you, but it cannot attract this version of you. You see why knowledge becomes a game changer. But Jide, I am a carer. By the time I go in the morning and I come back, I am tired. There's no way I can read. And I say to you, are you okay going on like this for the next 4 or 5 years of your life? You know, the way we work is we feel that once we get ILR, and after ILR, all our financial worries will be over. Guys, ILR will never make any difference to somebody who has not equipped himself in understanding how money works and how to increase his finance. I am tired, Jide, I cannot read. I say to you, do you know how many podcasts on finance? Podcast on finance is on your phone already. Podcast teaching you about budgeting, for instance. Do you know how many podcasts is on your phone that can teach you about budgeting? So many of us use this streaming platform. What is the name again? Our popular streaming platform, Spotify. But you don't visit the podcast section, the business or the finance podcast section of Spotify. The only one we use it to do is to listen to music. And I'm saying, do you know what you can do with that 20 minutes between your house and getting to the next service user? Do you know what 20 minutes of plugging your ear and listening to a particular podcast on finance, do you know what it can do to your financial condition? Do you know what that you are driving to work in the morning, you plug a particular podcast and it's talking to you on how to manage your debts and increase your finance? Do you know what that message is doing to your mind and can do to your mind back to back? Can you see that this generation, we don't have any excuse in complaining about the fact that there is no time? We don't have any excuse. No excuse. Why? Because informations are readily available. There is one that I downloaded on my phone. I paid for it, £87. The name of the app is called Edway. What does the app does? It's going to pick a book. For instance, I want to read Psychology of Money. Edway will pick Psychology of Money. It will summarize it into a 15-minute audio recording. And you know what it will do for me? It's going to extract all the salient points, all the vital and important points in it for me. And it's going to give me a to-do. Guys, the reason why we read is not so that we can ask, who has read Rich Dad Poor Dad? He says, it's me. The reason why you read a book is with the intention to apply. So you are asking yourself, from what I have read, what can I apply? What can I use to change my life? For instance, everything you are hearing from me tonight, it will be a total waste if you cannot look back and say, okay, this young man that is shouting and crying over the internet is telling me that my mindset is a major thing. Has told me to download Edge. That's HEDGE. Hedege. That's the spelling of edge. Has told me to go and download my account statements and see where my money is going to. If you don't enter into that application soon, you can keep praying, God, I beg, God, I beg. Bros, all of them now, inshallah and vibes. So an app like Edge will summarize books for me. Do you know I can practically read a book between when I have left my house and coming back home? Why? Because of the use of technology. Snoop is for your account. Edge is for your book. There's another app you can use. It's called Audible. So you have access to this information so that we can break that narrative of if you want to hide a thing, keep it in a book and keep it in the library. Right now, they are keeping it in podcast. They are keeping it in podcast. But many of us will never look at it. But we don't know that the difference between where you are and where you want to get to is information. Another way is through mentors. Mentors are people that has gone through that thing and are able to tell you that instead of you going through it for 5 years, I can use 1.5 years for you to achieve the same thing without wasting 5 years of your life. So mentor is not that you are not intelligent. Mentor is a system of saving time and saving mistakes so that you can achieve better results. But at the long run, all these things is meant to get you results. So what is your take home as regards financial education? Ask yourself, looking at my schedule, my structure, if it is to start with a book called Psychology of Money, can you download it into your phone? As you are moving from one service user to another service user, the service user give you F word, come out, wash your head and say it's just for a while. Can you get the knowledge that can push you to understand how the money game works? Understanding what is your spending habits? Why are you spending money or interacting with money the way you are interacting? The moment you start getting that knowledge, guy, you are opening yourself to a new world. So you find out that knowledge is a leveler. Knowledge is a game changer when it comes to depth. Another thing which you must pay attention to critically is please stop living beyond your means. Stop living beyond your means. Guys, fake life is only you, it is fake too. It is you. Fake life. It is only you, it is fake too. Guys, how many of you can remember what I wore last week Saturday? How many of you? How many of you can remember what I wore last week Saturday? Most likely none of you. Most likely none of you. Guys, stop living beyond your means to make you feel you are doing well. Guys, you don't know how sweet it is to be sure and really know you are doing well. Stop living beyond your means. You know your pockets cannot afford that thing. It's already a sign to tell you that whatever you dip your hand into beyond that is already going to put you in trouble. By trouble, I mean gbese. Let your means start telling you the reality of this is where you are so that you can start sitting down to ask yourself, how can I work on this? How can I get it better? How can I increase my earning? So stop living beyond your means. Let your reality be your reality. It will never be like this forever. You are a carer. You are going, I don't know why I'm talking carer though. These are the attack carer tonight. All right, so let me change my illustration. You are a person here in the UK. Your salary is roughly 1,800 per month. And you know that by the time you remove everything and slice everything, rarely would you have 200 pounds. And they come to you and say there is a pot called Salad Master that it helps you to eat healthy and to live hygienically. And they say, oh, no problem, never mind. If you don't have money to pay now, we can put you on a payment plan. Is that not telling you already that what you are doing is you are mortgaging the seed that you should plant for your future? You are eating it now, and you are removing the opportunity for that seed to produce results in the future. You know your income, you know what you are earning. You are trying to go and buy clothes in Zara. You are trying to go and buy clothes in M&S. Guys, everybody will start from somewhere. And this is why you have to be careful of the social media pressure. Why? Because it's making your account not accounting. You look at your wardrobe, you'll be, hey, I go talk am again, no verse. This will be the last time. You are a carer. You live on your care uniform. That means you use your care uniform 5 days every week. But when you enter your house and you get to your wardrobe is so full that you have to take one layer away from your husband's own so that you can put more clothes that you have bought. But 5 times every week is only one uniform you are wearing. I'm asking, what's wrong? What is wrong? I love you. You know I love you. What is wrong? You are the one buying to match shoe, bag, clothes, hair, wig, everything. But your account is not boasting of 500 pounds in savings. What is wrong? I'm telling you why people are in debt here. Like I said make you get water. Remember when I start, I said make you get water because it go touch us somehow. Now straight bullets. What is wrong? You know your income. You know what is coming into your hand. Why are you buying things to show up or to feel good when you really know that you are not doing well? What is wrong? I'm mentioning this. Why? Because I love us. Remember, I told you to get that app. That app, you know, another thing I like about the Snoop app, the app will let me see and let me know if what is coming in at the end of the month is able to take care of the expenses of next month. When the app is already showing me that I'll be shortfall of 200 pounds, it's already telling me that Jide, you are living beyond your means. You know, another thing I like about that app, every year it does a summary of your expense and it tells you what are the things you should have done better. What are the things that if you continue living this way, you know, these are the places where you wasted money. You know why? Because if you cannot see it, if you cannot measure it, you won't even know you are living beyond your means. If it is going to charity store I need to do now, it is at this level, I will do it. I will do it. If it is Timo, my money can afford for now, I will do it. The time for Zara, the time for M&S and all those big guys, it is coming. Let me pay the price now. So stop living beyond your means. Stop buying car finance. Guys, you must understand the purpose of car. Car is not for show off. Because when the purpose of a thing is not understood, we start bringing different definitions to it. Guys, car simply means a means of movement from one position to another place, from one point rather to another point. Bam. That's the definition of a car. A car is a means of movement from one point to another point. A car is not a show of how luxurious your life is. A car is not a show of how fab, of how choose you are. And I'm saying so. Why? Because if you don't understand this, you will think you are doing yourself good every time you go for a car from a point of luxury. And I learned this from Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki said something. He said if he wants to buy a Lamborghini, for instance, and the Lamborghini is worth $120,000, he has the money. He's a rich man. He has the money. He said he will not use that money to buy Lamborghini. So the first thing he will do is he will use that money to tie down an asset. And he is more into property, real estate. He will use the money to tie down real estate. Why? Because the real estate has the potential to generate more money. It will now go to the bank and loan money using the real estate as a down payment, as a guarantee rather. It will go to the bank, loan money using the real estate, if possible, as a collateral for it. But you know what this guy has done? He has been able to identify that a car is not an asset, it's a liability. The car would require servicing. The car will require insurance. But because the seed has been planted, whatever is required for servicing, for insurance, for maintenance for the car will be coming from the proceeds of the property he has bought. This is how the rich acquire their luxury. But at my stage, why am I thinking luxury? Guys, one of the best things I knew we did for ourselves was to buy our car all cash down without car price. Why? Because I know what it means when you work at the end of the month and when your salary is coming in, suddenly £400 disappear. Whoop. And the unfortunate thing is you would have to do it for the next 10 to 12 or 15 years of your life. Guys, buy at your level. Buy at your level. Buy at your level. It removes the temptation of financial pressure. All this impulsive buying. For instance, click on the yellow shopping cart and you don't click swipe. Boom. Timo, if Timo catch you with all this their advertisement strategy, if Timo catch you, you yourself, you go fear ad marketing. So all of us unconsciously, like I showed you, that Timo alone have done nothing less than £3,000 plus on Timo from 2023 till now. Why? Because there's Klarna, there's ClearPay, there's overdraft, so I can always use it anyhow. So what are you meant to do? Especially when it comes to all these things, how did I deal with it? For instance, when it comes to this purchasing, over purchasing, what I did is, instead of me saying, Jide, no, I will stop it, I will not do it again, and say, I fire them in Jesus' name, fire. You cannot subject your coming out of those kind of lifestyle to your emotion. You have to start creating systems that is not subjected to your feelings, to deal with all those loopholes where money is going from you. So what did I do for my own Timo and my own Amazon? I first delete the app from my phone completely. I delete them completely from my phone. So it simply means no notification from Timo to my phone, no notification from Shein or Amazon to my phone. The only way I can buy from Timo, Shein, or Amazon is when I come on my laptop, and that is extra work. So I have reduced ease of accessibility. That's number one. Number two, this mistake, many of us do it a whole lot. What is the mistake? You know your Timo, your Amazon, your Shein, sometimes it's attached to your Play Store, or the card that you attach to that account, to that shopping account, is the card where your salary and your overdraft is sitting. So there's always going to be readily access to your money. Sorry, to overdraft. So if you don't even have your own money in it, it will meet overdraft to buy from it. And that is a critical mistake. Why? Because you have attached your central bank to things whereby money can easily go out, to things that are not assets but liabilities. So what was the solution I did to it? I removed the card that has free money anyhow, and I put another card whereby for money to enter into that card, I have to move money from this card to it. And I told myself that this is the amount I am budgeting for it every month. Because that's the only way you can also deal with TikTok, shopping carts, coin, all these things. Why? Because most of you, your Play Store, either Google Play Store or Apple Play Store, the card that is attached to it is the one whereby money no go dry anytime. So it's easy for money to go without any form of mitigation or control. Thank you so much for the. So I had to attach another card. So for instance, like I mentioned to you, when I did the review of my account statements in 2024, I noticed that in a month, I've used more than £250 on TikTok coin. I don't play box battle. I just love giving. I am a giver at heart. So I've used £250 on the TikTok. I can't even tell my wife. Why? Because I knew that £250, if it had gone to my investment pot, I know what it could have bring for me. So what did I do? I changed the card. I removed the card that has full money anytime, and I put the card that doesn't have money anytime, because I'm still now a giver. I know she's not here. No. Even if she hears, she's proud of me now based on what I've done. So I put the card that does not have that I have to move money into it before money can get there. And I put a limit of a particular amount I want to use as coin. So when for instance, I was scrolling on TikTok and I see Oluwatosin in box back to, I say, now my party be that, now my friend, and I saw the next person trying to defeat my friend. Every one of us have ego, either is good or is bad. We have ego of wanting to be the one that helped your friend to win, and your friend Oluwatosin is good. As you drop, he say one galaxy, and I drop galaxy. Wow, he say, oh, go bruku. He said WGDs in the chart, WGDs in the F chart, WGD in the chart. Some people are destiny helpers. May you have a destiny helper like GD snap, oh, go bruku. So because of that feeling, that euphoria and the joy of winning, because everybody wants to win, you keep pressing, pam, you buy again, pam, there's a level you will buy and your bank will say, sorry, we cannot process this because of insufficient fund. If it was attached to the account whereby overdraft is sitting confidently, you will be shocked that you will spend nothing less than £200 in a sitting. But when I start spending that way and I see my bank sending me message, I know I have to borrow myself brain and know that if I do anything else right now, I have just been making a foolish financial decision. This is how I started dealing with TikTok coin. Now for TikTok shop, add to the yellow cards. That one, you can't delete it, right? So it's not like Timo and Amazon that I can delete from my phone. I can't delete my TikTok, right? So that one easily has access to us every point in time. So what did I do? Guys, this thing will shock you. Because I have done it, so I know it. TikTok can only allow you to add a maximum of 99 products to your shopping cart at any point in time. It can only allow you to add 99 products to your shopping cart at any point in time. So what did I do to deal with it? So when I'm scrolling and I see that thing, and they like to say that it's discount, just use your coupon and you get discount. Wow, this is an offer you don't. Sorry for anybody doing TikTok affiliate, no verse. I just need to tell people the truth. The way you'll be scrolling and see that buy it and you click to buy. So what did I do? Whenever I click, I don't buy. I add to shopping cart. I don't buy immediately. I add it to shopping cart. You know what I do? After adding to shopping cart, I do not do anything on it until after 24 or 48 hours. Guys, do you know one of the strange things I discovered when I started doing that? That what I thought I needed then, 48 hours, suddenly I just discovered that I don't really need this thing. So you find out that most of the purchases we'll do on TikTok are impulsive spending. Add to shopping carts. It is they are doing discounts, half the price. You just keep adding. Guys, it is shocking that I could add as much as 99 products. So those are 99 potential products that all in the name of discount I would have purchased. And I'm complaining, where is my money going to? I'm asking myself, where is my money going to? You know what I suddenly discovered? That when I go back and I add, and suddenly I add, instead of buying, I just keep adding. And after I have added and added, when it is 99, when you want to add, TikTok will say, please go to your shopping cart, it's full. I started going back again and I discovered that suddenly the thing I wanted to buy 2 weeks ago, I am willing to delete it so that I can add another new thing. Guys, you'll be shocked how many things you have bought, not because you needed it, but because of impulsive purchase. Impulsive purchase. And there's credit card, there's Klarna. If you don't want to use Klarna, you can use ClearPay. If you don't want to use ClearPay, you can use overdraft. So can you see how you have created a system to fuel your impulsive expenses? Guys, live within your means. Live within your means. The next one, which I want to talk about now, black tax. This one, black tax. Guys, you'll be shocked how much people are sending home on a yearly basis, and they don't have any savings here in the UK. You'll be shocked. I've seen several of my students, so I know what I'm saying. You'll be shocked how much they are sending every year. But they will not know why, because they are doing it every month. In fact, the people you are sending it to don't even know that you are taking it from overdraft. They don't. I'm talking about why people would perpetually be in debt except they change their spending culture and their spending habits. So every time you spend money or you send money to Nigeria, especially when you know you don't have it, it's an opportunity to grow that you have just killed. You have to start seeing money as seed. You have to start seeing money as seed, because that's what they are. For every time I release something and it goes out without the potential of first taking care of me or growing me for my future, it is gone. Guys, I will say something now. Please don't be angry if you are watching me from Nigeria. Please don't be angry. Many of us give not because we have. We give because of guilt. We give because you don't want them to say, you are the one that God has lifted now. Instead of you to support and help us, you are leaving us. Many of us give because you hear people saying, Shalewa, if you don't send it to me now, in fact, I don't know how to eat. You don't know how the children will eat. And because you don't want to feel guilty, you send it. I was speaking with one of my students in our one-on-one accountability last week, and she mentioned something. She said there's this particular person that is requesting, has been requested, and she has been given. I said, try and not give that person for 1 month and see what will happen. You'll be shocked what the person said. After 1 month of not giving, or a while that the person did not give, this person said to this person that, but you are doing business now. Can't you give me from your business? You know what you are doing. For every time you respond that way, you are training these people to see you in a class, to see you in a perspective that you are capable, you have it, you can do it, you are well to do. Guys, you need to go and download your Learn statements and see how much you have spent in the past 1 year. And you are not building anything. You are not buying house in Banana Island. I'm saying so why? Because sometimes we think the challenge is making more money. Guys, is before you make more money, sit down and pay attention to where the money that is coming to your hand is going. So you find that, and I want to say that to say this, to help you with the guilt. I know you have done it before, so you can testify. Everybody that is depending on you for money, they have a list of people they can ask. Everybody, except for your parents. Oh, everybody that can ever depend on you for money, they have a list. How do I mean? Remember back when you were in the secondary school and university and you need money, you would have written four people's name. I'll call Uncle Shola. Uncle Shola, how are you? I just say I should greet you. Your boy need 5,000 naira. Can you say Uncle Shola says no, it's wrong time. I don't have it. What do? You cross off that loan and go to the next person. Why? Because you know it's risky to depend on one person. Why? Because you must get that money. Everybody, if not 89 to 95% of people that depend on you for money, especially from a black tax perspective, they have a list. But unfortunately, you have positioned yourself to be the top of the list as Odogu Parara that you are. So unconsciously, you have groomed them to see you as the El Shaddai, the person that when we call upon you, you will answer us immediately, even though they don't know that is overdraft that you are spending. So the same you that have cultured them that way, you have to start reculturing them to move from the top of the list, maybe to number 4 on the list. Trust me, some of them go fight you. Yakubu, manage. Don't worry. Some of them will see you as stingy, but you know what you are doing? You are taking care of your future. You know you are planning to stay here. This is where you are earning. This is where you are growing yourself. But you don't have anything in savings for your future. You know, it's so bad that some of them will even help you convert the money. For instance, you send £10 that they did not work for. They didn't know that it's night shift. And that £10 or £12 is the amount you will work for 1 hour before they give you that money. When you send it to them, they have the infantry to convert it. How much did you send? Is it not just less than 20,000 you sent? Guys, you must start retraining people, especially when it comes to black tax. And that's why I say give in percentage. Before you send money out, you know you are collecting £2,000 at the end of the month. You are sending £500 to you, Nigeria. Nobody needs to tell you that you're already in a direction that will put you financially in a challenging position. Nobody needs to tell you. Why? Because you are already doing 25% of whatever has come into your hand. Before you think of your house rent, think of your council tax, think of your bill, you have already let go 25%. And it's not because you are doing it for an investment. I tell people, please and please, do 10%. Do 10%. Do 10%. Why am I saying so? Do 10% so that you can start creating breathing space for yourself here in the UK. So that you can start creating savings and investment for yourself and your family here in the UK. So that you don't spend all the money going out and at the long run, you are the one asking yourself, where's your money going? Do 10%. Except for your mom, and that 12% for me, the majority of it is first my mom, my dad, if they are still alive. Those are the first set of people it's going to. That's why for me personally, if you are pregnant and your wife wants to deliver and you are in Nigeria and you come to me to ask for money, many a times I don't answer them. I don't answer. You know why I don't answer? Pregnancy is something that does not happen overnight. It gave you 9 months to prepare, 9 months to plan. Or house rent, it gives you 12 months to prepare. For you not to do something about it within 9 months is a sign telling me already that this person is not willing to do something about his finance. And the more I keep allowing that thing to flow from my end as a lifestyle, the more I'm the one encouraging it to happen. I would rather allow you to come to me and tell me, Jide, I want to. In fact, this is how I do. When you come to me and ask for money, I tell you, what business can you do? What are the thing you can set up as a business? Okay, I can do this. I can get a kiosk and I'll be selling this and this and this. This is how much it is. I'll tell you that the money I am planning to give you, I'll give you half of it, and it is a loan. I went to borrow it somewhere. And why am I giving you this? I'm giving you so that you can set up that business. Guy, that kind of person now, except if you no get shame. If you go and come back, say the money don't go, you know, say that kind of people now on ending pits where you go, they spend money. So you have to structure your black tax, the way you send money home. Don't do it at the expense of your own growth, of your own life here in the UK. The next one is stop creating new debts. The way out of debt is to stop borrowing more. You can't keep borrowing and asking why you're not coming out of debt. Stop creating new debts. Stop getting new credit cards. Some people is getting four, they are getting two more this year. Say amen. Some people are already thinking of increasing their overdraft so that they can accommodate more expenses that they cannot afford. Stop creating new debt. You cannot keep digging a hole. You are inside the hole, you are digging in more, and you are asking yourself, why are you not coming out from the hole? There's no way you can come out that way. So stop digging the hole. Stop creating new debt for yourself. Reduce access to overdraft and credit card. Jide no go there. Wait till you just talk now. If you cause fight between me and you. I keep telling you. The moment you allow yourself to get used to it, I think overdraft and credit is even stronger than cocaine. For me, I feel it's stronger. The moment you get yourself addicted to it, God helping you, it has not become a big chain of liability around you. It's always difficult to come out of it. It can take years, more than 1 year, to come out of a £10,000 debt. It can take more than 1 year. So stop creating new one. Reduce your access to it. How many of you can go tonight and say my overdraft debt access of £1,000, I can reduce it to 100. Hope you know it can be reduced. You just know it can only be increased. You don't know it can be reduced, right? It can be reduced so that you can start making your mind think and do the real work to understand how money can be created. To stop depending on product that is not your own, except if you are using it for business. Stop having access to excess credit. What's even excess? I'm not even talking like this. If you can reduce it to 0, please do. My own credit card, I have smashed it. I don't need it again. I don't need it. If I cannot afford it now, it's a sign that I don't have the money to afford it. I don't need it. You know what it means to sleep, and you can sleep well at night. Guys, it's not about trying to do well. It's about knowing you are doing well. And you know one thing about life, if you are not doing well, you yourself, you will know. You can come online and do all the paparazzi for us. But behind the scene, when you open your account balance, you know what is usually there. So for me, it's not about feeling or living a life that sounds like I'm doing well. I really want to do well in the real sense of it. So stop digging new hole. Please avoid car finance debt except you are using it for business. Avoid it. Buy at your level. Avoid £27,000 car, £18,000 car. The car that immediately leave the showroom, the value has reduced by nothing less than 15 to 25%. Avoid them. Car finance, you are not using it for Uber, you are not using it for delivery, you are getting a car that is putting you in debt. Avoid them. Stop using your Klarna and your ClearPay for consumable debts. Stop it. Stop it. I know you are adults, but I'm just saying if you want to do well, these are part of the things you need to stop. Stop creating new debts. I've told you how the rich buy their own luxury. Can you start creating and thinking like a rich person? Then this is most likely the second to the last thing I will say. Number one, the way out of debt, if you are in debt already, is not to shy away from it. The way out of debt, if you are in debt already, is not to say, I don't want to look there. Whenever I look there, it makes me feel bad. It is already on ground. The way out of it is to first sit down and confront it. This is my reality. I am already in £4,000 debt. You have to sit down and confront it. Why? Because if you cannot face it, it's going to be difficult to overcome it. Oh, yes, it has happened through your lifestyle. It has happened through your spending habit. It has happened through your way of life or your careless way of living. But it is a reality now. To run away from it or try to get another debt to cancel this debt, you are just creating another new circle for yourself. So confront it and create a payment plan. Create a plan by which you can tackle it. If you need to speak with an advisor or a professional that can help you, tell you how to deal with it, please do. Please do. It cannot disappear by you closing your eyes and open it, and God will just make it disappear. So confront it. Sit down, download the statement, know the stats. How many cards do I have? I have 4 cards. I have 1 overdraft. You understand? In my overdraft, I am in debt, is in debt of 300. In my credit card, I'm in debt of 6,000. Know the numbers. Know the numbers. At least knowing the number will first show you how things can accumulate quickly because you have access to it. Then what I'm saying will start making sense to you to start with. Number 2, create a system, the one that has the biggest interest. Find a way to start dealing with it quickly. Create a payment plan to deal with it quickly. The one with the biggest interest is not the one that you'll be paying the minimum amount. Why? Because cumulatively over a year, it would have taken more from you. Remember, I told you every debt is a product. It's a product. So cumulatively, if you see that this one has a higher interest rate on me, deal with it. You see why for a person like you, going on holiday or vacation is not should be not be in your dictionary for now. Even if you want to go on holiday in the next town beside you, not going to Albania. It's not you they are talking to, not you. Why? Because you have something that is already eating the seed of your future. Is in your account there. So whatever you have, be after saving, pour a percentage into clearing that debt quickly, especially for the one with the big interest rate. Another thing you can do is there are another companies or another providers that give you room to transfer debts from one card to another one. And within a space of time, there will be no interest on that transfer except a fee for the first payment moving into it. Why? Because you are trying to pay debt. You should create a system that does not allow more money to still keep leaving your hand. So deal with it. Start paying it gradually and live within your means, guys. You'll be shocked how life can be for you. Deal with it, oh, please, I'm begging you, so that life can count. I don't want to tell you, but I think I should tell you. Let's assume ILR. They did not even increase it beyond 5 years. Amen. Praise the Lord. A family of 5. Do you know how much you'll be paying for ILR? If you have been here, this is your 3rd or 4th years. A family of 5, you are already looking for almost £20,000. You see why you cannot be creating and wallowing in debt. Why? Because there are some bigger things that is coming in front of you. Start dealing with it so that you can have breathing space. which leads to this next and last thing I want to see. Guys, I would lie to you if I would ever tell you that the way I could move out of debt was all these things I am saying now, with the exception of this last thing that I want to say. Guys, your salary can never take care of you in the UK. You can never live and live comfortably well, be able to do everything you want to do in life, and living on your salary alone. You cannot. It is going to be seriously difficult, and I'm being honest. Like, you want to live a good and not successful, a good life the way you want to live it here in the UK, and all you are earning is your salary alone. Averagely, for a large percentile of immigrants in the UK, it would be difficult already. So what did I do? I must understand that what can increase my earning potential is the value I am creating, is the problem I am solving, that people are willing to pay me money for. Some of you came back from Nigeria into the UK and you are a baker of over 10 years experience. Now you are doing care, or you are a dependent, and suddenly somewhere something has just wiped away all the skill that you have in your head, and you are settling for just 9 to 5. I'm saying, do you know the potential that is in your hands when you start creating another stream beyond your salary? Guys, I cannot lie to you. I'll tell you the truth. Doing this in my first year, it's so amazing. It's so amazing that coming online to teach people within my first year, I was able to live not depending on overdrafts nor credit card, using the skills I have to help create services and solve problems. Some of you are data analysts. Your company will give you the best half of the year. Do you know there's a small company outside your company, a SME, that is looking for somebody to help them manage their data? Even if it's just to pay you only £200 every month, I would rather put my energy in that than looking for an extra shift. Why? Because you are building something that is with your name on it. Nobody can fire you from such a thing. And you can only tell where you start, but you cannot tell how much that money can become. Guys, in a year, for me alone, in a year, it's so amazing that in a year of doing this, I was able to make more than my annual salary. Guys, go and do the research. Go on Forbes list. Go and look at the richest men on Forbes list. You will discover something that is common. All of them, they are either selling a product or offering a service. By extension, they are creating a solution to a demand somewhere in the world. You must understand how money is multiplied. You must understand how money can grow, money can increase. Sit down and ask yourself, what is in my hand? What is that thing I have experiencing? Where is a demand for it here in the UK? You don't know how proud I am when I see my students. Some of them are selling hair extension, some of them are doing catering business, some of them are offering services, and they are not only depending on salary again. Guys, it is difficult, and the system knows it. That's why they made it easy for you to access overdraft and credit card. It is usually difficult to live on your salary alone without another stream of income. So don't let anybody lie to you. Please sit down and ask yourself, what are the values I can create that somebody is going to be willing to pay me for? Guys, I believe with these few points of mine, for the past, I've been able to help you understand that debt is a product. Debt is not necessarily to your advantage. It's a product to enrich those who created it. Ignorance is never a strategy. You must understand that the way out of debt is for you to sit down where you are right now and start asking yourself, what can I do to move from where I am to where I ought to be? Guys, don't worry. Many of these things I've mentioned, lumping it together, I'll still take time to break it down one after the other. We'll talk about stream of income. We'll talk about investment. We'll talk about business, we'll talk about several other things. This is just day 2. Make I clap for myself. I have 15 days more to go, 13 days more to go. Just keep praying for me. I'll be showing up every day. I will be showing up every day. This will be the best 13 days of your life. But one thing that you owe me and you owe yourself is to start asking yourself, what are the things I have to start doing now to change the story? We'll still talk about making more money, but before you make more money, manage it. Let's learn how to manage it better before we talk of more. Guys, tomorrow we'll be talking about another good topic that has helped many people to be in debt. Thank you, my brother. That has put many people in debt. It's called the credit score. Some people are getting credit cards because they've told them that you need it to build your credit score. I would like to tell you that you don't necessarily need your credit card to build your credit score. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we'll be talking about what is the real thing about this credit card, this credit score. How can I build my credit score? Guys, you don't need a credit card to build your credit score or your credit reporting and have a good rating here in the UK. There are several things that influence your credit card or your credit reporting. Credit card is just one minute thing that can impact it. But I've seen many people get into problem because of this thing called credit card. So we'll be having conversation around your credit score. How can you grow it from wherever it was before and make it better? If you've made any mistake, how can you make it better? So we'll be having that conversation tomorrow. Can you see that what we are talking about now is not so much of how to make more money, it's how to manage your life and make sure you are getting some financial things done properly. You understand? After you have done that foundation, we can start building on it. Okay, so this is what you do to make more money. This is how to manage it. This is how to grow liability and reduce liability and grow assets. We'll get to that place. So this is day 2. Tomorrow again, 6 p.m. We'll be having that conversation. Guys, if you are not following me, there's every tendency you are making decisions that is losing you money. But please follow me. Just click the follow button beside my name so that TikTok can notify you whenever I come streaming every day. Tomorrow again, we'll continue by 6 p.m. Please and please, I will never come to your DM to talk about one investment or anything. If anybody is coming, it's a scam. Block them. They are not from me. They might use my face, they might use my video or my picture. It is not from me. Please block them. I will never come. How can you identify if it is the real Jide Neye that is talking to you? Let me show you, because I know them. They will come trying to leverage on the good work I am doing. Let me just show you. All right. Thank you so much for everybody who is. Don't worry, guys. We'll still have time for question and answer on the 4th day. We would have time to ask questions. Just keep coming. All right. So if you go to my page, for instance, on my page here, you can see that I have 12,200. Thank you, guys. I have 12,200 followers. Guys, don't be carried away by the name. The only thing nobody can mimic or imitate is my handle. And you can see the handle is at jide.neye. So if you like, let the person have all my videos. I'll pack everything. Once you check and the handle is not at jide.neye, is a scammer. What do you need to do? Just click on this arrow at the top, go to the bottom and click block, and you will block the person. Please, they will keep coming from you. It is not from me. Please be careful so that you don't lose out your money. Have a lovely night rest. I think I don't give many people assignments tonight to go work. All right, so let me do something for the first time. If you have any question you want to ask, use the request box beneath. Let me take 2 people. I'm going to take only 2 people tonight. Use the request box beneath. Any question, just use the request box so I can ask, so that we can have just 2 people. Any question, guys? I think the message entered very well. Well done, guys. Well done. So we'll see tomorrow by 6 p.m. UK time. I'll be here again from now till the end of the month, every day, 6 p.m. UK time. Have a beautiful night. See you tomorrow. I believe in you. It can be better. We can change the story of we Black people from being heavily indebted to start creating assets and changing the story. But it will take you, me, and every other person here to start changing that narrative. How do one get in touch with you for a one-on-one? Send me a message or go to my bio. You will see a link for a one-on-one booking section. It's not free. You can do that on my bio. Then we can have a conversation there. Or you send me a message on TikTok here. Apart from that, I will never be the first person to send you a message. Any other means out of those two means is not from me. It is a scam. Be careful. All right. You're welcome, Efficient. Have a lovely night rest, guys. Go to church tomorrow. Go and pray to God for wisdom, so that I can give you wisdom how to tackle this thing called debt. All right. Mr. Jide, I left you a message. All right, no problem, my dear sister. I will check it. All right. Have a lovely night rest, everybody. Bye-bye.